What's going on, everybody? Finally back out here in the shop, getting ready to get back to work on Project Fundraiser. In our last video, we went through the transmission a little bit. This video, I'm going to start off, we're going to clean out the engine bay, just get, layer of dirt off of there. It's, in pretty good shape, just dirty. So we're going to get that cleaned up, then I'm going to get the transmission set back in, and then I got to get the engine off the engine stand and get the flywheel and clutch put back on. We should be ready to slide this back together. I got a few little things to do. I got to put the new brake booster in a master cylinder. Just little things like that. So going to be a lot of time lapse in this video, but hopefully at the end of it, we'll hear this thing fire off and run. This is that engine I rebuilt several months ago. It's just been sitting here on the stand waiting to go in this thing. So be good to hear it run, and hopefully this thing will be almost done, other than when we get a little bit warmer weather, I want to clean it up and paint it, and then we'll get the interior put back together and she'll go up for sale. So a lot of time lapse, but stick around and hang out with us. See you.
Okay, sit still, everybody. Don't go away.
All right, guys. Hosed out the car. Just the engine bay. The rest of it's still filthy, but that don't matter right now. Got the engine down off the stand. We just got it dangling here. I'll start getting the flywheel on. Luckily, Hunter just messaged that he's on his way home from work, so he'll be able to help me hold it so I can get everything torqued down. And then we can get things set in there, so y'all can watch me put a flywheel on. Woohoo! All right, I quickly knocked a new pilot bearing in the center there. It's nice and fresh. Good old Timken bearing. Again. Not easy to do when the whole engine wants to move around. Alright, we got one started, so it's not going to fall off on us. And right on cue, here comes the kid. So I'm going to pause this, talk to him for a little bit, and we'll be back. Alright, we got the kid out here. We're going to get this flywheel torqued down, then I can get the clutch put on. Then it'll probably be a lot more time lapse while we throw the transmission in and set the engine down in. It's still got to do all the wiring, get the radiator in, get all the coolant lines hooked up. So it'll be a little while before we hear it run, but hopefully in this video. Anyway, let's get this torque down. You hold it, bud. Try to steady the engine too. Did I just get this right on the first try? Well, that never happens. But I'll take it. I really should have cleaned this off a little bit. Key to doing these is just keep going around fairly even. Don't just tighten up one bolt at a time. You got to go around and just keep checking to make sure your clutch alignment tool can slide in and out nice and easy. If it starts getting in a bind, you have to back off a little bit and line everything back up. Glad we're getting some warmer weather. I did end up putting my hoodie on today, but it's not bad. We're up around, supposed to be up around 60 today. I don't know if we made it that far. Alright, that's a clutch on there. So I'm going to turn the camera off, get things rearranged. We'll get that transmission set in there, and then we'll be ready to drop this little feller in there. Woohoo! Alright, we did a quick run to the hardware store, picked up some bolts we were missing. Hunter's down here putting the cross member in for the transmission. And as soon as he gets that done, I'm going to hand him the transmission, get it bolted up, and we'll be ready to set a motor in here. He down there working?
No.
No. We're ready to drop this engine in here, so got you set up on the tripod, gonna spin you over there and watch us fumble around like morons. We really need to be over this way more. Up. And turn it this way some. That's pretty dang good. Oh. Alright guys, sorry for the horrible lighting, but as you can see it's getting dark on us. So we're going to call it a day. We did get the engine set in there. All the motor mounts are tightened up. So jump back on it in the morning, try and get all the electrical hooked up and get the radiator in, get all the coolant hooked up, and then maybe we can fire it off. So see you tomorrow. Just like that, it's a new day. We're back out here in the shop, getting back to work on Project Fundraiser. We left off yesterday. We'd got the engine set down in there and bolted down. Got it, transmission bolted up to it. So today we are getting drive lines on, getting the cooling system put in, hopefully electrical, get all our fluids added in. I've got to put a new brake booster in there. Gonna be a lot of time lapse today. I can just plug away and work, but hopefully we can hear this thing fire off if I've got all the right fluids to put in it. Maybe we can try it up and down the road. Anyway, let me get you set up on tripod and I'll get back to work. Alright, so I got the new master cylinder put in, brake booster. Got those lines hooked up. Ran into a couple problems. Realized I'm going to have to make a bracket for the throttle cable. I'm also going to have to swap out that throttle cable. That one, the end of it's broke off. And I forgot to paint a couple, brackets. And since we're trying to make this thing look good, I'm going to clean this up and paint it. So definitely not going to hear it run today. But hopefully still in this video. I apologize, the videos are late. But we can only do so much in a day. Anyway, let me get this cleaned up and get some paint on it. What is going on, everybody? Last left off, I was getting the engine set back in this, getting everything hooked up. It's been a few days, had to order some more parts, needed a new fuel pump and the push rod for the pump, and just waiting on parts to get in. So it got pushed outside while we worked on other things because we got a new project that I'll be showing a video on soon, but I'll give you a sneak peek if I can get the camera to cooperate. We got the tin top, which I'll give full walk around in the next video, but that is going to be the big project for the channel. I'll release some of the details on that in the next video. Really looking forward to this build. It's the build I'm hoping to travel the country with. Anyway, get you spun back around. Just set up a little time lapse. I've got to, pardon me, I've had a bit of a sinus cold. Just got to get the timing lined up, distributor timing. And then hopefully we can hear this thing fire off. It's been a long time coming. After that, like I say, this will probably get parked off to the side for a little while till we get some warmer weather we can paint. Just not consistently warm enough yet. Well, for now, let's see, at least see if we can hear it run. All right, Dad stopped by. He's been helping me adjust the timing and stuff on this. I think we're about ready to actually hear it fire. I'll get you spun around. You can watch in case we have something really cool, like, you know, explosive fireballs or whatever.
Dan?
Lily, hush. Look at all the coolant. It's
Okay. Have you got an oil pressure light or a gauge? Or
I don't have anything on the dash hooked up.
I'd like to know if we had oil pressure.
I can plug up the cluster, but I can't guarantee it's working yet.
Well, if not, we need to screw a gauge in it or something.
Doesn't sound bad though.
No. If we have no oil pressure, we want to make sure it stays sounding good.
Yeah. Oil pressure and battery light come on, so that's a good sign.
Okay. Let me run the throttle. Go ahead.
Oil pressure light staying on.
What?
Battery light went out, oil pressure light didn't. Alright, when I left off, we'd got this thing fired up, but it wasn't building any oil pressure, so of course we couldn't run it but a couple seconds. Ended up taking the oil pan back off, which meant pulling the radiator out, taking the timing belt off, all that good stuff. Dropped the oil pan, took the oil pump out. Oil pump seems to be good. We did find that the O-ring on the oil pickup tube seemed to be a little bit small, wasn't making a good seal, so we're hoping it was just sucking air. So we got it put back to, or got the oil pan back on. I've got to get my timing belt and stuff put back on. Well, we had the radiator out. I had noticed that the neck on it was cracked. So got that all soldered up. Should be good to go. Anyway, I'm going to get this button back up. Get some coolant back in it. We'll get it fired off. All right, so we've got everything buttoned back up here. Getting ready to fire it off again. Make sure we got oil pressure. As long as everything runs good, try and get the clutch cable hooked up and bleed the brakes and see if we can't make it move under its own power for the first time in a decade. Let me get you spun around here and we'll see if she fires off. All right, she'll fire off. She's not idling, but still got to play with timing a little bit. I'm sure the carb will need some adjusting, but that's, considering I hadn't done that in 10 years, it's a good sign. Plus, had plenty of oil pressure. So that problem is solved. All right, quick change of plans, guys. Like I said, you heard it fire up and run. Got the clutch cable hooked up. Should be able to, shift as usual. Do have a blockage in the brake lines, though. Wasn't able to get those bled out. And there's just too much stuff to hit here for me to risk trying to drive it without brakes. So we'll see it moving under its own power in a later video. At least we know that rebuilt engine fires up and runs. Does need a bit of tuning. Doesn't want to idle, but that's to be expected when you put something back together. It's been sitting for 10 years. So we're gonna, I'll slowly tinker with it. Pardon me, messing with top over here. I'll slowly tinker with it and get it running right and get it ready for paint. But this one's kind of put on the back burner for a month or two while we wait for steady warm weather where I can paint. Right now it's still cooling off too much in the evenings and all that good stuff. Next video, I'm going to show y'all the project vehicle I picked up. It's going to be the start of the big overlanding rig I want, basically my dream build. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. Going to be a lot of cutting and moving things around and making a whole new machine out of it. So it's not going to be just a cookie cutter build. It's it's a major undertaking. So hopefully we can pull it off. Going to be working on that 2 or 3 days a week, and then 2 or 3 days a week I'm going to be working on this one. We're supposed to be driving to Wyoming, and that series will come out a couple more months. I'm kind of just sitting on those videos so that I can release them all together when we head out west. Anyway, check back in with us in a week or so. I appreciate everybody's support. We're small, but we're growing. I've got a few loyal followers and hoping to add some more to that. So be sure, give us a like, subscribe, check out our merch on unlikely-overlander.com. Pick you up a sweet shirt. P.O. box is in the description. If you want to send me stickers or anything like that, I'm gonna start getting a little sticker wall going for everybody that wants to send stickers in, either for their YouTube channel or their business or whatever. And we'll show those up on screen. Anyway, check back in with us. Like I say, hopefully have that other video up for you next week. As long as this has been such a big gap in between them because I've been waiting on parts and stuff, but hopefully we're back on track. It's just real hard working a full-time job to do weekly uploads, but I try. Yeah, that's it. Appreciate the support. Till next time. See ya.